Will Robinson was born on June 3, 1911 in Wadesboro, North Carolina. Robinson was a playful, active child who had his share of personal experiences with discrimination. Segregation reared its ugly head when Robinson represented Steubenville High School at the Ohio State High School Golf Tournament in Columbus. As the only black player, he was denied the practice round all the other players received and was sent onto the course alone early on the morning of the tournament, before the greens and fairways were even mowed. Young Will shot a 1 over par 73. He finished second. Robinson won 14 letters at Steubenville in 5 sports: football, basketball, baseball, track, and golf. He went on to win 15 letters in 4 sports at West Virginia State University and quarterbacked the football team to the 1936 National Negro College Championship. In 1944, he became the first black high school basketball coach in the state of Michigan and remained Michigan's only African-American high school roundball coach for the next 16 years. Each year from 1946 through 1951, Robinson guided Miller High School to the Detroit City Championship game, winning it 4 times in a row. In 1960, Robinson accepted the job as head basketball and tennis coach at Pershing High School on Detroit's east side. The Doughboys had never won a city basketball championship in their 31-year history, but within 3 years of Robinson's hiring, Pershing ended that drought and went on from there to win 2 Class A state championships in Will's 10 seasons at the school. It was on February 27, 1970, at the age of 58, that Will Robinson received a call from Illinois State University Athletics Director Milt Weisbecker. Robinson was about to become the first black head basketball coach in NCAA Division I history. It was only fitting that Will Robinson was chosen as the individual to break that color barrier. After all, he had spent his entire life building the bridge between African Americans and athletics and education. The controversy surrounding the Robinson hiring was immense. Not only was Illinois State moving from small college basketball to the NCAA Division I level, but the hiring of Robinson made the move bold and unprecedented. Weisbecker had to have the courage to make the move. Robinson had to have the courage to live it. Robinson faced frequent racial slurs, discriminating officials, and other college coaches who wouldn't schedule the Redbirds because of not wanting to play, and perhaps more importantly, not wanting to lose to, a team with a black head coach. Nonetheless, Will Robinson achieved consistent success. Each of his 5 seasons was a winning season. He compiled 78 victories in all and sustained only 51 losses. If Will Robinson were here with us today, he would waste no time in telling us that many of those wins were attributable to the incredible play of a scrawny youngster out of Benton, Illinois by the name of Doug Collins. Collins flourished under the leadership of Robinson en route to being named a 3-time All-American, star of the 1972 U.S. Olympic basketball team, and the guy the Philadelphia 76ers made the #1 pick in the 1973 NBA draft. Robinson, meanwhile, grew tired of fighting the segregated world of college basketball and resigned after his 1974-75 season at Illinois State to take a scouting position with the NBA's Detroit Pistons. Incredibly, Robinson remained in that position with the Pistons for 28 years, while also serving as a part-time scout for the Detroit Lions for 22 years. With the Pistons, Robinson discovered Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman and was instrumental in piecing together the talent that produced Detroit's 1989 and 1990 NBA championships. Will Robinson was a civil rights pioneer right up until his death on April 28, 2008. Both as a coach and an educator, Robinson influenced the lives and careers of hundreds of student athletes, including Doug Collins, Spencer Haywood, Ted Sizemore, George Raveling, and Ralph Simpson. More than 300 of his high school players graduated from college, and 14 of his athletes went on to professional sports careers.
As I sit here at half court to the game here tonight, getting ready to do the Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz, one of the reasons I'm sitting here is because of Coach Robinson and what he brought to me as a young person. And he was more than a basketball coach, he was a life coach to me. He taught me the essence of being a father, of being a husband, of being a friend, of working hard every day, of being someone you could count on. I will never forget all the things he did for me in my life. Coach, I love you. I always will. I'm thankful for the times we got to spend together. And thank you, Illinois State, for honoring this gentleman and what he's done for basketball and for Illinois State University.
It is evident that Will Robinson, due to the sacrifices he made, the challenges he faced, and the lives he touched, reached an iconic status. The sort of status that inspires stories passed from one generation to the next. The sort of status that inspires the sculpting of statues. The stories have been told and will continue to be told. And tonight, Illinois State University Athletics is proud to announce, with the generous gift of the Don Franke family, that a statue is being sculpted to honor Will Robinson. This statue will replicate the historic photo of and commemorate the historic relationship between Coach Will Robinson and player Doug Collins. Teacher and student, old and young, urban and rural, black and white.
I think it just comes down to doing the right thing. Will Robinson is part of the lore and the history of Illinois State athletics and Illinois State University, and quite frankly, if you talk to people throughout the country about Illinois State athletics and Illinois State basketball, Will Robinson helped put us on the map. When you go to America's greatest universities and athletic departments, their legends are memorialized in statues, and this is the beginning of us doing that. We have a rich history here at Illinois State, and I can't think of anything more grand that we could do for this gentleman than to place him forever out in front of Redbird Arena alongside his greatest player.
This statue will be located outside the north entrance to Redbird Arena and should be officially unveiled sometime this summer. Lou Sella, an Illinois State alumnus, is the sculptor.
I didn't think I would ever get to do anything for my alma mater. At the end of the day, I'm a Redbird. I spent 4 years there, and they're, 4 of the greatest years of my life. I've got friends that I made at ISU that I have to this day that'll be there with me when this is unveiled. And I'm looking forward to it in a big way, and very humbled by it too. It's ISU. It's part of my own personal history.
Will Robinson refused to allow an arbitrary matter like the color of his skin to deter him from his dreams. This statue on the Illinois State University campus, while helping to remind us of a golden era of Redbird basketball, will hopefully also remind faculty, students, staff, visitors, and all of us who pass by and admire it that nothing should be allowed to compromise our dreams.